defense allowed the most receiving yards of any team in the NFL to running backs.
Right.
You can hurt them with running backs. Leonard Fournette can really, really catch it.
Yeah, but you need to be Leonard Fournette or Christian McCaffrey to make that pay off. And Leonard Fournette is not one of those guys in the receiving game. I granted he caught a big third down 2 weeks ago against Green Bay on fourth. It was fourth down, excuse me, not third down. He's caught a couple of plays. He caught the angle route against New Orleans for the touchdown. So he's gotten better. But I don't believe Leonard Fournette is the guy that can beat you in the passing game like Alvin Kamara, like a Christian McCaffrey. But Tom does like to throw. Remember in that Super Bowl, Skip, he threw 14 passes to James White. He loves throwing to the running back because he'll take what you give him.
Agreed.
The one thing that we know about Tom, especially in this game, he will not force the football. And the times that he's forced it, he's paid the ultimate price. He forced one against Atlanta, Skip. He went pick 6.
He did.
He forced one against Seattle. They picked that. So normally Tom is very cautious when he throws the football in the Super Bowl because he knows you pay double for those types of interceptions.
Okay. So I believe you're going to see Brady at his subtle greatest, where it's going to be long drive greatness. And I believe that Tampa won this game, won this Super Bowl in the final 3 quarters of the November 29th game, in which it looked like they were about to get blown completely off their home turf. Because if you look at what happened in the last 3 quarters of that game, Brady threw for 313 yards, fairly quietly because it looked like they had been embarrassed.
But here's the thing, though, Skip. How many of those yards did he throw for when they was within one score?
Okay. Well, you can argue they took their foot off the gas. You can argue they relaxed on defense. You can argue all the above. But in the second half of that game, Patrick Mahomes threw for a grand total of 103 yards. They started to draw a bead on him. They started to figure out how to play him on defense, and Tom started to figure out how to play Spagnuolo's defense on offense. And it started to click because Tampa won the last 3 quarters 24-10. Tampa won the second half 17-7. 2 long drives in the fourth quarter directed by Brady, 75 yards and 73 yards, cut the score to 27-24. With 4 minutes and 10 seconds left, and the defense could not get him the ball back, or I believe you would have won that game.
But that's the thing, though, Skip. But you never had the ball with a chance to take the lead. You never had the ball when you were within one score.
Well, you were lucky they didn't have the ball.
You had the ball, Skip. You keep saying Patrick.
No, we didn't. Last 4-10, not once.
Skip, you keep saying that Patrick Mahomes only threw for 103 in the second half. Even though he did only throw for that fewer yards in the second half, he still had 100 more passing yards than Tom Brady threw for the entire game.
And he got him in the first quarter. Seriously. It was as an embarrassing a defensive scheme as I've ever seen. They stuck poor Carlton Davis, who's a talented kid, but he's just a kid, in single coverage on Tyreek much of the first quarter, some into the second quarter. And he got embarrassed. He gave up 200 yards receiving to Tyreek in single coverage.
Well, you call him a poor kid. Now, when he was on the IG talking about Michael Thomas, he didn't say. I mean, you didn't say nothing about no. He didn't say no poor kid.
You know how corners are. You have to have indomitable spirit and confidence, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, you did your thing on a Devontae when you making picks. Ain't nobody say nothing about no poor kid. Man up.
Okay. Well, here we go.
Yeah,
you just challenged him. I'm glad. Keep talking. I need it. He needs it.
Hey, he got to worry about me. He need to worry about 10.
But you know what he's going to need most? Help.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to have help. Yes.
Well, his help needs to come from JPP and Shaq Barrett.
Okay.
That's where his help needs to come from.
All right. So here's what's going to happen. Tom Brady is going to win the clock in ways they couldn't win the clock the first time. They lost the clock 37 minutes to 23 minutes. If that happens in this game, it's lights out. It will be everything you think it is and most people think it will be, which will be Kansas City will score close to 40 points. It could get ugly if they win the clock 37-23.
Well, a lot of that, Skip, you got to realize their first 4 possessions, they were three and out.
Okay.
Well, if you go 3 and out, that means you only have the ball probably 2 minutes of those 4 possessions because a lot of those are incomplete and you're stopping the clock. And so you give Mahomes, and he put together a couple of long drives. Now, the one was only one play. He went 75 to Tyreek over the top. That didn't take a whole lot of time. But he did put together some other scoring drives. And even when they came away empty, Skip, that was a nice 8-9 play drive before Shaq Barrett got through there and forced a strip sack in the red zone. Or it was about to get real ugly. It was about to get Bubba Sparks in that thing. It was about to be 24-0.
What happened in the opening drive at Lambeau in the NFC Championship game? They go 3 and out?
No, they went right down the field. And
boom, boom, boom. 3rd and 4, boom. 3rd and 7, got it.
Yeah.
3rd and 9, got it. Touchdown. Okay?
And what did Green Bay do on their first possession? Sack.
Okay.
Shaq Barrett off the field. Boom.
Okay, that's got some potential to happen this time. But I do believe that they will mix in more runs, more short passes, more ball control, because Brady is genius at this. He knew he had to put Aaron on his heels at Lambeau by scoring first. They won the toss. Green Bay won the toss, and as most teams do, they deferred. And Brady said, oh, okay, watch this. This time, I believe more long drives because, as I wrote in my piece the other day when I was talking about how underappreciated Brady still is, how underestimated he still is, he has no signature Super Bowl plays. He is spectacularly unspectacular. He doesn't throw no looks. He doesn't throw left-handed passes. There is zero Mahomes in Brady. So if we could see what I concluded about his clutchness in my piece that I wrote for FoxSports.com, I said, Brady is long drive clutch, subtle, steady clutch, extended clutch, monotonously, efficiently, effortlessly clutch, boringly clutch. That's what this guy is, and it's hard to love it because there's no wow factor to it. Mahomes is complete wow factor. Right. Brady is textbook. Mahomes is like watching the TMZ website. It's just like fireworks are going to go off everywhere. You know.
Well, I agree with you because most clutch players, whether no matter the sport, you have a signature moment, whether it's Tiger Woods on 18 at the U.S. Open, or maybe that shot that he spin back into the hole at Augusta National, or maybe it was Jordan holding the pole.
You can just keep going.
We think about it. Everybody's had that pose, that walk-off, that moment. And Tom is just basically, a lot of times when Tom wins the game, he's on the sideline.
Yep.
He elementary kicked the field goal, or he's hoping his defense gets a stop. So you're right. I mean, he hadn't had that moment, but he's done some amazing things, especially because as many times as he had to throw the ball to get them in position of all the things that could have happened, Skip, a tip, guy bobbles the ball, a fumble. He's had none of that happen, really, on the last drive.
He has not. And remember, when you have 6 game-winning drives in fourth quarter overtime to win 6 rings, that means you went a long distance without one thing going wrong, because it just takes 1 inch, 1 ounce.
So he do. Okay. That's what you said about Mahomes. You said Mahomes them 9 lives, so he should be due.
Yeah, but this guy's got longevity resume.
Yeah.
This guy is the one guy that history screams, Shannon, be careful. In these moments, you don't bet against him.
Yeah. Even history says that if you do something long enough, the odds, if you fight long enough, Mayweather got out at 50. No, he knew if he kept trying to go, let me try to get to 51. Let me try to get to 52. The odds were not in his favor. The odds of you continuously putting together these game-winning drives are not in your favor, Skip.
Except he's Tom Brady.
Okay.
And your guy is Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, boy.
And he's had a sensational start to his career. But he is not invincible. See last year's Super Bowl. And the totals for this game, the over-unders on the passing yards for each quarterback are high. And I think they're way too, you think they're both going to go over. Their over-unders are Brady's 300, Mahomes is 320. Yeah. I think neither will go over their totals.
Over that. I'm betting over.
Okay. Do you realize how many times Patrick Mahomes has thrown under 300 yards in his career? Because he does it a lot. Because it's hard to throw for 300 yards.
Yeah, but he's averaging 307 for a career. So do you know how many times he's thrown over 300 yards?
Okay, 7 times last year he went under 300. In the Super Bowl last year, he went under 300. In the AFC Championship last year against Tennessee at home, he went under 300. The season before, 9 times he went under 300 yards. In his MVP season, he went 8 times under 300 yards. So I say this is going to be more of a defensive struggle where he will have lots of pressure on him that he hasn't had before. I say it's going to be the most pressure he's going to have in his face, maybe in his career. And I believe that Tampa will take the ball away from him somehow via fumble, sack, fumble, interceptions. I believe they're going to have 3 turnovers.
You do realize that the guy's only turned the ball over twice in his playoff career.
Yep. I got it.
Twice.
Number 1 in takeaways is Tampa Bay. What have they been doing to everybody they play? What did they do to Drew Brees? What did they do at Green Bay?
We don't give it away, though. That's what we don't do.
Okay, well, good luck. And now we get to the psychological motivational factor. This is the icing on my cake. Tom Brady did not make the Pro Bowl, and it was a huge
He didn't
thing.
deserve it.
Okay, so Pro Football Focus graded him the 2nd best quarterback in pro football, and then in the postseason, they've graded him number 1 in the postseason, and he did not make the Pro Bowl over Kyler Murray, who got the 3rd quarterback spot for the NFC.
Right.
Trust me, he is on fire for that.
Why are you on fire for that? He told Devin White, don't worry about the Pro Bowl. He got other bowls to worry about. So now he on fire for that?
Tampa Bay had no Pro Bowlers except JPP, who's a backup.
Yeah.
So Devin White did not make the Pro
I
Bowl.
thought Devin White.
Okay.
Now, you know what I think about him. I actually thought he should have made the Pro Bowl.